And it's PLB with MLB News, back with another video. In today's video is going to be my 10 most underrated players in the 2020 MLB Draft. I've only done one other 2020 MLB Draft video on this channel. That's my 2020 MLB Mock Draft, and I would do another one, but I don't think a lot of my picks would change. So if you like this kind of content, make sure to leave a like. Let's try to get this video to 5 likes. And make sure to subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications so you will get notified whenever I upload a video. There was 2 videos yesterday. I don't know if there's going to be 2 videos today. And the main reason you guys got 2 videos yesterday was just because of the new proposal. Link in the description to that video. Maybe you get 2 videos today if you guys are lucky. I don't know. So we start off with the first player, which before we get into it, make sure to check out my basketball channel. It is PLB with Basketball News. And make sure to subscribe to that channel as well. Now we go on to my first most underrated player, which is Nick Gonzalez, a second baseman from New Mexico State. I think Gonzalez has the most upside in this draft. In my mock draft, he was number 6, going to the Seattle Mariners. And he didn't get picked by the 2 teams in front of him just because they already had second basemen. And this is not a major league player, but this is my comparison for him. Josh Morgan. He has a similar swing to him. And where he could start the 2021 season, because he's obviously probably not going to play in 2020. Most players don't after they're drafted. And I think that's going to be AA is where he starts. I think he's going to be a quick player up to the major leagues. And it's ETA. I'm going to go with 2022. You could argue 2023. I understand that too. Next one is Garrett Mitchell. Garrett Mitchell is one of the fastest runners in this class, which really doesn't matter, but it means that he's going to stay in center field for most of his career. He's ranked number 11 in the prospect rankings by CBS Sports for the 2020 MLB Draft. In 2018 stats, with one team he had a .280 batting average, 0 home runs, 31 RBIs. In 2018 with another team he had a .309 batting average, 2 home runs, 20 RBIs. In 2019, his stats were .349 batting average, 6 home runs, 41 RBIs. In 2020, stats were a little down just because it was a shortened season. .355 batting average, 0 home runs, 9 RBIs. Next one is Patrick Bailey. A collegiate catcher has been selected either first or second overall in the last 2 drafts. I don't think that will happen this year just because you've got the Austin Martins and the Spencer Turklesons who are definitely going to be at the top of the draft in my opinion. And also make sure to like this video if you want to see a live stream for the MLB Draft and my reactions tomorrow. And so in 2018 with NC State, he had a .321 batting average, 13 home runs, 40 RBIs. With another team, he had 1 home run, 3 RBIs, and a .225 batting average. 2019 with NC State, he had 10 home runs, 46 RBIs, and a .268 batting average. And in 2020, he had 6 home runs, 20 RBIs, and a .296 batting average. Next, we move on to Tanner Burns. Burns was on pace to lead the Tigers in innings pitched for a second consecutive season prior to the pandemic. He also finished second behind number 1 pick Casey Mize in that category during his freshman season. And his stats in 2018 with Auburn 7-4 record with a 3.01 ERA. In 2019, he had a 4-4 record with a 2.82 ERA, a very good season. And in 2020, he started off the season very good with a 3-1 record with a 2.42 ERA. We move on to the next player, which is Cade Cavilla. He's a former two-way player. And last year, he focused mostly on pitching. And in 2018, he had, this is his batting, 6 home runs, 28 RBIs, and a .202 batting average. In 2018, also, he had 0 home runs, 0 RBIs, and a .167 batting average. And in 2019, he had a .319 batting average, 4 home runs, and 17 RBIs. Now, that's not a great season. And he didn't pitch in he didn't hit in 2020. He focused more on pitching, like I said about 30 seconds ago. Next one is Ed Howard. Ed Howard would be higher Well, higher in the draft in my opinion. I think he's still going to be a top 15 pick. I predicted he would be drafted by the Texas Rangers, I'm pretty sure. And he gets kind of underlooked because Austin Martin can also play a little bit of shortstop. Next we go on to Tyler Soderstrom. And a prep catcher has been selected in the top 20 since 2015, where the Cincinnati Reds picked Tyler Stevenson 11th overall. Soderstrom might change that this year. And the key word, in my opinion, is might, just because I think he's the number 2 catcher in this draft. I think Patrick Bailey's the number 1 by far. And I think he's a good player. I don't see him going top 20. I see probably top 25, possibly. Even top 30, I think. I don't think he's better than Patrick Bailey, who's the number 1 catcher. And I think there's a lot of players in the draft better than he is. But I still think he's a little underrated. We move on to JT Ginn, who entered the spring as a potential top 10 pick on the strength of his fastball slider pairing in his freshman season with the Bulldogs, 3.13 ERA. Unfortunately, his standing lasted as long as his season did, a single start. He underwent Tommy John surgery in early March, right before the spread of the virus, and he likely won't return to the mound until next summer. Scouts believe he's likely to go high enough to justify signing. He's a draft eligible sophomore, so don't expect him to come super cheaply. So JT Ginn, I'm not seeing top 30. I'm seeing possibly top 50. I think you're probably going to see him in the second round being drafted. I just don't see him being drafted. I think a lot of teams are going to have injury concerns, but I think when he does pitch, he is going to be a top 20 player in this draft. Next one is Austin Wells, a catcher from Arizona. And his bat is doing the heavy lifting. A draft eligible sophomore, he hit .357 batting average with 7 home runs and more walks than strikeouts in 71 games with the Wildcats. He also had a strong showing in the Cape Cod League, batting .308. Wells has a pretty swing from the left side, and he has a chance to further tap into the power. The risk is as suggested with his defense. He has a substandard arm, and he doesn't grade as a good receiver. He could end up at the other end of the defensive spectrum, either at first base or in the outfield. Alternatively, he could benefit more than any other draftee from robot umpires. Who knows in the something. And in 2019, his stats were 5 home runs, 60 RBIs, and a .353 batting average. And in 2019, also .308 batting average, 7 home runs, 26 RBIs. And in a shortened season in 2020, he had a .379 batting average with 2 home runs and 14 RBIs. And I could see him possibly moving to the outfield. I think the outfield is also good. I think you could also see him as maybe a little bit of a utility player. Next one is Cole Wilcox. And he gets overlooked, in my opinion, because of Emerson Hancock, who is in the same pitching staff. And Georgia probably has one of the best college baseball pitching staffs as far as the top 2, with Cole Wilcox and Emerson Hancock. In 2019, his stats were 3-2 record with a 4.53 ERA, and with another team 0-1 record with a 6.75 ERA. In 2020, he had a 3-0 record with a 1.57 ERA, and I think 2020 is the main reason why he is possibly a top 30 pick in this draft. Next one is Justin Focus, I think is how you pronounce his name. And he's actually pretty good. He will still have to work on his defense, but his track record on making contact, commanding the zone, and posting above average exit velocity should attract a team with a good development staff, which is a team, in my opinion, like the Astros, like the Dodgers, that have made trash players into really good players. And his stats in 2018, he had 3 home runs, 20 RBIs, and a .241 batting average. Also with another team, he had 2 home runs, 9 RBIs, and a .304 batting average. In 2019, he had 14 home runs, 60 RBIs, and a 321 batting average. That's really when he broke out. And I think he's a potential top 30 pick. I think in my mock draft I had him top 30. And in 2020, obviously with a shortened season, 321 batting average, 2 home runs, 16 RBIs. So that's my 10 most underrated players in the 2020 MLB draft. If you like this kind of content, make sure to leave a like. We're trying to get this video to 6 or 7, maybe 5 likes. And probably a live stream tomorrow for the MLB draft. So that's going to be the end of this video. Make sure to leave a like, subscribe, and turn on the notifications so you get notified whenever I upload a video. Thank you for watching, and I'll be back with more videos soon.